Hey, buddy. Hope you're doing well. I'm not doing too bad. Uh, Today is September 11th, which to me is a very important date, and to you maybe not so much. Um, that's not saying anything against you. Um, I've always thought it interesting how things that happened before we were born, even if just by a couple of years, seem like ancient history. You know, the moon landing, the pinnacle of human science in the 20th century, arguably, happened a couple of years before I was born, and to me, that's just ancient history. Even though it was just 2 years. Um, I don't know. It's interesting, but September 11th was my generation's loss of innocence. That may sound flowery. And I imagine every generation has something like this. I haven't really thought about it too much, but my father, it may have been JFK being assassinated. These are moments that let you know the world is not as you were taught. There is no Santa Claus. You live in a world where you have to eat your vegetables, and most of the time the entire plate is vegetables. So I thought it may be of interest to you to know my thoughts on this, probably the most important event of my generation, the 9/11, when the towers went down. I always remember where I was. I was working a company called Digidyne. I was their tech support chief, lead tech support guy, whatever. Not like it was a huge company. I think I had 5 people under me at one point. But yeah, I remember first tower went down, and you're just like, oh, what the fuck, somebody really fucked up. Air traffic control, the pilot. What on earth? Oh my God, that's terrible. But I mean, and it was, but you could kind of wrap your head around it for a couple minutes there until the second one hit. Yeah. And I only lived, me and Mom only lived like a mile from where I was working, so I rushed home, got a big TV, brought it back, we plugged it up. Everybody was watching. After that second plane hit, I called your mother. She was working at a deli downtown, and told her to get home, that the nation was under attack. I'm not sure if I made that call before or after the Pentagon was hit. I mean, the Pentagon was hit, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. He just knew it was on, man. I mean, if there were birds in the air, it would not have surprised me. Yeah, and this is all, coming from the 90s, which the 90s were very carefree, from my recollection. I couldn't stand Clinton. Jesus Christ, what a dumbass. What a deplorable human being. But, he happened to be in the right place at the right time with the dot-com bubble. So the economy was good. It was definitely the calm before the storm. has, here we are, this nation, we think we're the greatest nation on earth, untouchable. You'd had, terrorist attacks before, limited success. And probably the most successful one off the top of my head internally was Tim McVeigh. He did a good bit of damage. And there had been an attempt to bring down the towers before, in '93, I think. I could be wrong. But, despite that, we it really felt like we were untouchable. It had to have been very similar to the mindset of people at the beginning of the Vietnam War. We've kicked ass in Europe, Pacific. We won't look too closely into Korea, but we'll call that a win. And so Vietnam shouldn't be that big a deal. We'll have a gentleman's exit, if nothing else. Gentleman's exit. Now, look up that famous photo of the last chopper leaving Saigon. Yeah. And we fucked up the exit in Afghanistan. That was Trump and Biden. See, I'm like old school children trying to cast the blame aside. Yeah. Before on 9/11, man, I felt hopeful. I felt optimistic. I realized the world had problems, but in my naivety, I thought that the world was basically a good place and people were basically good. And it would take me a long time to fully accept the lessons of 9/11 in my life. The world is not basically a good place, and people are not basically good. I'm not saying the world is a bad place and people are basically bad. The world is what it is. The world is neither kind nor cruel. And people are generally apathetic. You get a couple on the extreme ends, there are really good people and really evil people. But 99% of the people you will run into, more than 99%, they just want to be left the fuck alone. And they'll help you if it doesn't put them out too much. And I've gone into the reasons they'll help you in a different video. But yeah, genetics. But yeah, man, 9/11. 9/11 showed the world there was no Santa Claus. Showed me, at least. And then our bungled fucking reaction to invading Iraq. What the fuck was that all about, huh? Jesus Christ. Weapons of mass destruction. Colin Powell, Dick Cheney. American people were sold a bill of goods. But man, honestly, if they told us that there were fucking Martian jihadists on the moon who'd conspired to create 9/11, we would have nuked the moon. We were so angry. Honestly, man, I was advocating for nuking Afghanistan. Not the, wisest approach in retrospect. But that's how bad it hurt. I tell you, man, Osama bin Laden, what a genius, huh? What an incredibly smart man. He knew exactly how to inflict a maximum terror and discontent on the populace of his enemy with a minimal expenditure of resources and manpower. He lost, 20 guys, 30 guys. Let's say he lost 50 guys. Yeah. Shit. Killed nearly 3,000. Brought a complete change to American foreign policy. I often wondered if he and men of his ilk would be satisfied with what they wrought. Is this what they wanted? Maybe. I don't profess to be able to look into the heads of any madman but my own. But for me, I won't even fish because I don't want to hurt a fish. To kill thousands of people. I just don't get it. Life may not be inherently sacred, but if sin does exist, I believe that a massive sin is to prevent someone's journey upon the wheel of incarnation. Killing them does that in the most permanent of ways, and they have to restart. I think that's wrong. If any of that, high-minded philosophy, gobbledygook even is real, I believe it. I think 9/11 should probably be a holiday. But, like bombing of Pearl Harbor, it'll soon be forgotten. Trivia question on a cereal box. I'll never forget the people jumping out of the windows. I think that was the main thing that was burnt upon my memory, is people so desperate to escape the fire that they jumped to their death. I guess that would be a quicker death. But geez, what a terrifying ride. Excuse me a second. Yeah. Falling to my death, that would not be the way I'd want to go. Of course, there's not many good ways to go. I think my father's probably the only one who cheated the Grim Reaper. Clever bastard. Died of low blood sugar. And I think that's probably one of the less painful ways to go. And I could be wrong. But I think he just went into a coma and didn't wake up. Good for him. He would be 80-something years old now. Born in 41, so... It's funny how quickly time goes by. And I can't even say I fully understand the concept of it. Time. Time heals all wounds and wounds all heals. Anyhow, if you ever have any questions about what has gone on in my life, my short span on this earth, I'm still alive, feel free to ask me. I've seen a lot. Love you, buddy.